The Woman with the World at Her Feet, a short story by Paul McCann. Hannah had grown up a popular girl around the silver mines. During her teenage years, she had started to acquire a following of admirers who loved to watch her dance around the campfire every night. When she danced, she was like a wild flame. Hannah's flame was growing, and there were many who envied her as she unravelled her talents amongst the miners around the silver mines. For she was the undisputed Irish dancing champion of the world. Hannah had held that title for the last 5 years, and things had become much easier for her parents, Maisie and Sean, who were very much respected by the miners and the travellers. It was such a relief to see that her parents never had to work as hard as they did before. With the extra money Hannah was getting from her Irish dancing school, she was able to help her parents. Sean had a number of miners now who were working for him on the mines, and Maisie had a home instead of a tent. Hannah's dance school was becoming very popular and was bringing in some extra cash. It was open twice a week, and her established students were hungry to learn some new steps, while her students, who were just newbies, were finding their feet with some beginner steps. One week a young man unobtrusively walked in the door of the dancing school. Hannah never noticed him slip into the quiet corner where he stood, appreciating the beauty of this butterfly without wings. He was mesmerised with her. Hannah was too busy with her students to notice him. She was unaware that there was this silent visitor watching. He stood there until the lesson was completed, and then he made his way over. With her back turned to him, he approached her and coughed a few times. Hannah turned around and she said, "Do you think you could dance?" He looked at her and responded, "Do you think you could dance on ice?" Hannah looked at him and replied, "Once I danced in the Irish sunlight on a frozen river. Every time I stepped forward, I was thrown back too, so I turned and danced backwards, all the way across to the other side of the lake." He laughed and he said, "Hannah, my name is Dermot, and I have travelled from America to meet you. I've heard about things that you've been doing, and I've heard about things that you've done, and I have a proposal to offer you." Hannah seemed interested, and she said, "Oh, a proposal from America, is it? Well then, Dermot, you better tell me about it then." "They have told me that you're the best Irish dancer in the world, and after watching you this evening, well, I must agree. My proposal for you is to be the star in a new movie called The Woman with the World at Her Feet. It's the story of a woman who started as an Irish dancer, and then she changed direction to become a figure skating champion, and then after that she started to do ballroom dancing, where she fell in love with this guy who became her partner." Dermot pointed to himself. Then he stopped talking, and then he started ballroom dancing with an invisible partner all around the floor. Hannah watched him as he gracefully glided across the dance floor, turning and weaving from one direction to the other. She felt a passion for this, and even though she had never done anything like that before, she proceeded towards him to engage him in the dance on the floor, and they danced in the light for a while together as if time stood still. And then Hannah spoke. She said, "So, what do you think, Dermot? Did I pass the audition?" Dermot replied, "I am impressed, Hannah. Who taught you to dance like that?" The way I dance cannot be taught. It's a gift. I feel it, I see it, and I dance it, and most of all, I love it. Come to New York with me, Hannah. You're a star, and the world needs to see you and appreciate you. The script is finished, and shooting will start as soon as you say yes. And we arrive on the set. Hannah smiled, and she replied, I've always wanted to go to New York, so yes, for me, as long as my parents can come too. Dermot reached out his hand and he said, You've got a deal, let's shake on it. Hannah spat on the palm of her hand, and they shook, and the sounds of their laughter echoed all around the room. A week later, Hannah and her parents were in Hollywood. They were given a new home to live in, which was part of the contract as well, as a salary that ensured that they would never have to work another day in their life. Hannah was given a set of ice skates, and they took her to an ice rink. It was the first time she stood on the ice, but she soon felt at home, and she made such an impression on everyone who was there watching. It was as if she had wings, and she flew from one side of the rink to the other without fear of falling. She was gaining a new audience. They came in one by one to look at this very gifted dancer on ice. People were asking, Who is she? Where did she come from? They stood in awe, and they watched and applauded when she had finished. As fate had it, the entire unrehearsed performance was captured on camera by a camera crew who were just there getting a light check and some test footage. It was a magic moment for everyone who was there. After the hard work had begun and the shooting began and the rehearsing, late nights, learning lines, early morning, playing out the roles of a woman with the world at her feet. It wasn't long before the movie was finished and ready for the release in Hollywood. They say that a change is a necessary thing. It enables growth as well as a new way of looking at things. Hannah had met change, and she adapted to it very quickly. She had adjusted to the fact that she now had a fiancé called Dermot in her life, and that her parents were living life to the full with many new friends and new hobbies. And they loved going out to the Broadway shows. They'd become a little eccentric in their ways, but underneath the facade, Hannah knew that they were still the same people that they had always been. Hannah's gift was something that people loved to watch. She danced in a way that brought happiness and enchantment and lots of excitement. From the silver mines in Australia, she danced her way to the top and became the biggest attraction in show business. For she was the woman with the world at her feet. The end.